Hi, everybody. Today feels like a good day for a story. So, this is a story that is true. Um, it's as true as I can remember it. So, some of the details may or may not be totally correct. So, Dad, if you're watching this, you could chime in and correct whatever I got wrong, but I'll do my best to tell it. So, when I was a boy, one of the things that my dad and I did frequently was to go gather firewood. We had a wood burning stove at home that we used quite a bit in that during that season, and so we would go gather firewood fairly frequently to make all that happen. So on one particular day, we went and picked up some firewood with our trailer. Now our trailer uh, was really a converted back half of a pickup truck. That's what it was, and so we used that to pick up the wood, and it had a canopy on it. And when we were picking up the wood, because it wasn't a full load, it wasn't. We decided that we would be really smart and we would backload the firewood. Save time when we got home. We could just open the tailgate and just pull the wood off and be done with it. It would be a lot quicker. So we brought the wood home, and Dad had it, backed up into the driveway, and we got out of the truck, and we were just kind of getting ready to unload the firewood, and I asked him if I could unhitch the trailer. I had done it before. I felt pretty comfortable with doing it. He felt comfortable with me doing it, and so I went and did that. Now, what you need to remember is that I was a boy, and while I knew how to do it, I didn't necessarily like think through all of the potential consequences of like weight and where that weight was located in the trailer specifically. So I undid the like the safety chains and pulled the pin, did all those different things, and then finally released the hitch from the ball, and I was straddling the trailer hitch. So I was standing over top, just doing it because it just felt easier to do that way. Well, I was completely startled and shocked because as soon as I released that trailer from the ball, I suddenly found myself up in the air, not like launched, but like sitting on top of the trailer hitch, and just think teeter totter except trailer. And so I was kind of up there, legs are dangling, completely have no idea what's going on or why it's happening, and just trying to figure this thing out. So I hop down. I'm okay, and I go back around because I'm upset. What I think has happened is that Dad, I don't know, has lost his mind maybe, and like pushed down on the trailer, or I don't know. It just none of it really made sense. But I was like, this crazy thing happened, and why would my dad do that? So I come around, kind of I'm heading towards the back of the trailer. Meanwhile, Dad is there at the back, and he starts coming towards the front of the trailer, and we see each other, and we just kind of like look at each other for a while, like longer than awkward silence. And what I'm thinking during that time is, Dad, why did you do that? Why would you play a trick on your son or do this thing? And I'm just processing. Meanwhile, he's looking at me, and Dad, this is where you could. I hope this is what you were thinking, and this is how I remember it. Is he was looking at me, going, "Oh, you're okay. You're not injured," and because he had visions, I think, as any parent would of, injury happening as a result of what took place. And at some point, I think I finally verbalized it and said, well, "Dad, why did you do that?" and and he do what? And it took us a while to kind of realize, oh, it was the wood that was at the back of that trailer that caused all of that to happen. I don't remember how long it took for me to move from like bewildered frustration and a little bit of anger uh, to recognition. Um, but that did happen, and afterwards we were able to laugh about it. One of the things that is true about this story, and I actually think it's applicable to our situation right now, is that my bewilderment came from this event happening And in my mind, I thought it was happening at the hand of my dad, that somehow he had caused it to take place. But that wasn't consistent with my dad's character or our relationship or any of those things. That wasn't ever our experience. And so the event didn't make any sense. I don't know how you're all feeling with what's happening with this COVID-19 business. But maybe you feel like your legs are dangling in the air a little bit, like, what just happened? This is so surreal, this doesn't make sense. In John chapter 10, Jesus describes himself as being the good shepherd, and verse 14 is applicable to this now. It says, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. And so as we go through this process and we're trying to make heads or tails of it, the thing that I would encourage you to remember is who God is. And the reality that he knows you, and if you've entered into a relationship with him, you know him too. Think about the character of God. Think about how he's treated you. And think about his loving kindness. God is good, and he cares for us. And so while we sort through all of this, I would encourage you just to remember who Jesus is and that he knows you.